Hey everybody, it's Bear. Hey, guess what? I survived Hurricane Florence. Are you ready when that unexpected event comes to you? Tornado, an earthquake, just a bad thunderstorm. They can take our power out, shut down some of our utilities. Are you ready to deal with that? I'm going to show you what I cooked when I didn't have any power. We'll call them hurricane grits. Mike over at Under the Carolina Sky did hurricane hash. So I'm going to call them hurricane grits, and I'm going to show you what I cooked on Sunday morning when I didn't have power at home. So Sunday morning, this is the exact fuel canister and stove I broke out. Now today, in honor of the Canteen, we're going to use the Canteen cup to heat up some water. But look here, on Sunday, I have this also. I have this nice GSI kettle, and this is probably a little bit better of a pot for heating up water if I just want to boil some water. So this is what I've got. Right, this is what I use Sunday. And as much as I like my Canteen cup, this was a better option because it's got a nice big broad base for that flame that's going there, and heats up really quick. Now Sunday I went into my cabinet, I got out some instant cheese grits, some Quaker instant cheese grits. And then on my snack shelf, I have a bunch of these old Wisconsin beef sausage bites. And look, I just went ahead and threw them right in there because we're going to let those heat up with the grits while the grits rehydrate. And after my grits hydrate, I've got a Chick-fil-A red bell pepper topping. And this is an easy breakfast meal when you're out on the trail. For my coffee, I'm going to use one of my UCC pour overs. This is exactly what I had for breakfast on Sunday with no power at my house. Hey, so just that quick with the efficiency of our camp stoves, I've got a boil. Now for those 2 packs of grits, I need about a cup of water. And that's gonna look really watery at first, but these grits will soak that up. We're gonna give it a little swirl so we don't have lumps. We open up all the little grits to start soaking up some water. Now I'm just gonna set this to the side for a minute and let it work on itself. We're done with that. Next, I'm gonna get my coffee ready. And then we just start adding a little water. Just like the old K-cup, right? Right there in my little brewer basket. If I'm on the trail for less than a week, I'm so taking these pour over coffees. This is such a nice cup of coffee. If I was gonna be out there for longer than that, I might take some instant just because it's less trash and stuff to deal with. It'll pack down a little smaller, but boy, this is the way to go if you can carry it. It's real coffee and it's fresh and hot. You can carry a little cream and sugar if you need to, but I take mine black. Alright, so this is the penalty for carrying that nice fresh coffee, is you've got some wet grounds that you have to carry out of camp with you, okay? I think we've got just enough time to talk a little bit about emergency preparedness while the grits finish up. Alright, so straight from FEMA here, okay, I pulled up their PDF on emergency preparedness. Well, that's an interesting green spider. See if y'all can see that guy. I don't know if you can. Could you see him? It's right there. Oh, weird green. Go away, spider. Alright. So, I'm going to read you a little bit of this front page real quick and talk to you about what they've got here. It says, there are real benefits to being prepared. Being prepared can reduce fear, anxiety, and losses that accompany disasters, And communities, families, and individuals should know what they should do in case of the event of a fire, or where to seek shelter during a tornado, or where to go when you have to evacuate your home. Where are the public shelters going to be? What about your basic medical needs? You can also reduce the impact of a disaster. If someone doesn't have to come in and save you, you're one less, right? If you watched my video about picking trash up, right? You were one that made a difference. Well, again, you get to be one that makes a difference if you're prepared and you're ready, because you're one less person they have to go rescue. All right, the need to prepare is real. We have disasters that disrupt hundreds of thousands of lives every year, and each disaster has lasting effects both to people and their property. If a disaster occurs in our community, the local government and disaster relief organizations will try to help you. There's a key word. They're going to try to help you. Doesn't mean they're going to be successful. I want you to hear that again. The local and federal agencies will try to help you. It does not mean they will be successful. I'm inputting that. They say, but you need to be ready as well. Local responders may not be able to reach you immediately, or they need to focus their efforts elsewhere. What if there's a nursing home that's going underwater? Do you think they're going to come to your house first? No. Okay? What about a hospital? There's a hospital in danger? They're going after those patients. You should know how to respond to severe weather or any disaster that could occur in your area. Do you have hurricanes, earthquakes, extreme cold, flooding? What about terrorism? Is there industry in your area? This is my question. Is there industry in your area that could likely be a target for terrorism? I have it in my area. You should also be ready to be self-sufficient. They say for at least 3 days. So what I'm going to tell you, there's no excuse not to be able to get through 24 hours without modern conveniences. No excuse. You have to be able to get through at least 24 hours to survive a good thunderstorm. And then up from that, you really ought to be ready for 3 days. I would say up to 2 weeks, depending on what you think you may experience in your area. And beyond that, this is just a matter of how prepper crazy you are, right? So, using this guide from FEMA here, it tells us makes preparation practical. And this guide, this PDF, is 201 pages long. Here, I'm going to hold this here for a second. You can pause it. Okay, so I hope you were able to pause that and take a look at it if you wanted. It gets into basic preparedness, natural hazards. It gets into technological hazards we might face, terrorism, recovering from the disaster, supplies checklist, water conservation tips, family communications plans. I have a sister that was in an area that can be impacted, and right off the bat she was on Facebook, hey, does anybody know how we can use our phones like walkie-talkies if we lose service? Okay, how are you going to talk to your family? Also, I looked and I found the Red Cross. Red Cross has a good section there. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. About making a plan. Create your emergency plan in just 3 steps. Documenting your plan with free templates from the Red Cross. What common emergency scenarios, including those common emergency scenarios in your plan and what to do. They have a free app you can download. I'm going to try to include some links down in the comments for FEMA's PDF and the Red Cross's website, and there's also a government site for building a kit. I'm going to try to put those 3 links in my description below so you can click on them and educate yourself if you're not there yet. For me, camping and backpacking, I'm pretty close to 3 days all the time anyhow, but you don't have to utilize real expensive foods, as long as you're buying some shelf-stable stuff that you can rotate in your kitchen that has a long shelf life, and maybe build a bucket so you have a minimum of 3 days food for you and your family, and any water you need to prepare that. So if we're making instant grits, do I have a bottle of water to make that? A 16-ounce bottle of water would make 4 packages of those grits, okay? A 16-ounce bottle of water would make 2 packages like I've done here, and a coffee. So I keep a flat. I count bottles and how many I need by the day, and I buy flats of water and rotate them for my family members according to our needs for water. I also have some gallon jugs and have some other water available for flushing toilets and stuff like that. So, but anyways, you don't have to go buy those expensive freeze-dried foods. You can just buy instant grits, some canned goods, some canned soups, and you know, it doesn't have to be your favorite stuff. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Go buy a bunch of oodles and noodles. You just got to get by for a couple of days. It doesn't have to be, you know, 4-star quality here. You just have to survive. You got to get through to the other side of that event. That's all that matters in the end. But so build yourself that bucket. Minimum 3 days. Minimum 3 days with shelf-stable food. It doesn't need refrigeration. You've got water to prepare anything you need in it, and a way to cook it. Right? Do you have enough gas for your camp stove that's always available to get you through those meals? Do you have your canteen cup or kettle or some other dedicated cookware for that? You know, just food for thought here. Hey, I think my grits are about ready, and I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I'm gonna give them one more little stir, and let me bring you in here, and we're going to top them off. We're going to top these grits off with our Chick-fil-A red bell peppers. So here we go, y'all. This was my breakfast Sunday. I didn't have any power at home, but I had a camp stove, and I had some shelf-stable food that was easy to prepare. And you know, this is actually pretty tasty. You know, I sure love to have this on the trail. It'd be a good meal on the trail, and a pretty cost-effective meal on the trail too. You could probably make this guy for a couple to $3, right, with the coffee and everything. It's just as good as it was Sunday morning. So look here, if you haven't taken the time to get ready, you know, do me a favor and everybody else a favor that might be coming to help you. Do your part and get ready. It doesn't take much. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You know, I bet you with a little forethought, for less than $50, you could have enough food, water, cooking supplies on hand for your family for those 3 days. Less than $50. Hopefully this week we won't have another hurricane, and I'm gonna come back to you with what I originally wanted to do this week. But frankly, I was traveling last week. I was in Texas. I had to fly back into the hurricane, and I just scrapped my idea for this week. I'd filmed ahead, and I'd been up for like 24 hours when I filmed that video, and I think I was asleep on camera. So, train whistle's telling me it's time to go. We'll see y'all out there on the trail.